Hey boys and girls, today we're going to be talking about the area of a composite figure. So our learning target says I can decompose composite figures to determine the area of the original figure using the additive property of area. That's a lot, so let's break that apart. It says I can decompose composite figures. So decomposing composite figures just means taking these irregular shapes, like this composite figure, and breaking them down or breaking them apart. And it says to determine the area of the original figure, what the whole composite figure would be, using the additive property of area. And that's just adding those two areas together to find the whole area. So let's look at our little chart here and walk through the steps of this one together. Number one says decompose or break down the composite figure into regular polygons. So all I have here is this representing a composite figure, and all I'm going to do is break this down into separate regular polygons and find the area of each. So if I decompose this, I see a couple different ways I could break this apart. I could cut it here to find that. This would be one rectangle and this would be a long skinny rectangle. I could also cut it here and see that this would be one rectangle and this would be another long rectangle. So let's go ahead and decompose. Decompose means to break down. So let's go ahead and break this composite figure down by cutting the area into two parts. Now I have two regular polygons that would be easy to find the area of each one. Remember, to find the area, we multiply the length times the width. So for this one, this part of my shape is a length of 4 and a width of 4. So to find the area for that, we would multiply 4 times 4. And what is 4 times 4? 16. And it didn't give me any specific units of measure here, so all I'm going to call this is square units, or units squared. So 16 units squared. Let's look at this part, okay? Now I have these other numbers here that represented what those parts were when it was the whole composite figure. So now we've got to look at what these numbers are that we're needing to determine the length and the width of this rectangle down here. Well, let's look at that. The length is all the way across. So is 6 all the way across, or is 10 all the way across? Well, it's 10. I can easily see that. I could also count the squares in this circumstance anyways. So 10 is the length all the way across, and the width, is the width 9 or is the width 5? Well, here the width is 5. So the area of this is 10 times 5 equals, what's 10 times 5? 50. So 10 times 5 is 50. So this area is 50 and this area is 16. So now what I'm going to have to do for that last step is to find the sum of them together. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 50 and I'm going to take the 16 that I got from here and I'm going to add them together. 50 plus 16. 6 plus 0 is 6. 5 plus 1 is 6. So the area of the entire composite figure together is 66 square units, or units squared.